So far, we have developed the conceptual understanding of an event. That's a good beginning. But now you would ask that how do I check out these data from events? How does the report look like? And what are the different freedoms in the way I can change the report to suit my needs? Okay, so all of this we are going to look at in this section. So let's get started. Hello guys, and this is the section of engagement where we are going to see how do you figure out whether your users are engaged or not. And the first step of that starts with events. We will see how you can work with events and figure out what are the different areas that are working out for you and what are not. Of course, there are other ways to see how users are engaged. For example, we will go through some of these page related reports, and we will also go through the path exploration reports. All these are technical jargons, but they are very easy to understand. And these are the set of areas where you will be able to figure out whether your users are engaged or not. Okay, so let's check out. Back to the screen, and I'm inside the engagement section overview. And you will see over here, there are many such terms such as average engagement time, and then average engagement time per session. Okay, there are events, data on events, data on pages, which page has been browsed, and so on. Okay, so let's get the first thing out of the way. What is an engaged user? Okay, we see over here engaged sessions per user. There's a very technical definition to it, which may not always work out for you. Okay, let's see how you can figure it out if you do not have this course, let's say, and you have to figure out what is the meaning of these engaged sessions and engagement time and all these things. How do you do that? So you just go to Google, you search for engagement time or something like that, Google Analytics 4. Okay, and you will see this support.google.com page is coming up. You can open this over here. It says engagement metrics, right? So we should be able to see all the details that we need. And then you will see the details over here, sessions, engaged sessions. And there is a very technical definition over here, which says that engaged sessions are sessions that last 10 seconds or longer. Okay, we already know what sessions are. Have one or more conversion events. We'll talk about that. Or have 2 or more views. Okay, that's the page views basically, or screen views in mobile applications. Okay, so that's how they have defined engaged sessions. And there are some more definitions. You can go through this page. I'll share this page link with you. But that the part you get the idea what an engaged session is. Okay. Now, if you are not okay with the definition, you're always free to write an event where you can say that if a user spends, let's say, 20 seconds on the website, this user is a engaged user for me. Okay, you fire that event, you capture that event, and inside that event you will get the data on how many users have actually spent 20 seconds based on the number of times the event was fired. Right? It's that simple. So you can do that. This is another way to see it. If you're okay with the definition of what Google defines it, then you can always check this kind of data and you'll get the idea. Okay. So there are some other data as well. We'll discuss the stickiness and activity and other things in some other video. Okay. Right now, let's go to events. All right. Now, what we see over here is a list of events that were fired by different users, right? Session start is the default event that gets fired anyway once the Google Analytics is configured. Okay. First visit is something similar, but then you will also find these view promotion, view item list. Remember, these are recommended events. Okay. So this website has implemented the recommended events, and therefore you are able to see this. Okay. So if I open one of these recommended events and you start seeing a lot of data again, and this format of data is already clear to us, right? We know that event count, the number of events per day is showing up over here. Event count per user is 15. Okay, this is only for view item list, by the way. So per user, there are 15 view item list on an average that is being shown up over here. Okay, and then there are a total of 48,000 users who have gone through this particular event, view item list. Okay, so what is view item list? Let me show that to you. All right, so this is one of the page of the merchandise store. And when I log into this page, okay, what I see is the list of items over here. Okay. Products in Google Analytics 4 are generally said or determined as items. Okay, so you see a list of products over here or list of items, and this fires a view item list event. Okay, and therefore we are able to see that there are so many users who have done a view item list. There are many different pages where a list of items is there. As soon as I click on this, and let's say I say view product, I go out of the view item list and go to something called a view item. Okay. So you get the idea. We'll talk about this more when we are discussing the modeling, but just so that you can understand this better. Now, here, all these things that you see over here, starting from this page title and then going to page location, page referrer, and there are some more session content and keyword, so on, right? So these are parameters. Once you configure the parameters, it starts showing up like this over here. So along with view item list, all these parameters were fired, okay? And these are event parameters, not user properties, okay? These event parameters. So you see the data on event parameters, and this is where your analysis starts. Now, if you want to see whether your users are engaged or not, okay? And you want to see whether they are viewing item list and which particular item list they're viewing more, you will find that here, page title, right? You will already know that there is some page called Sale Google Merchandise Store. A lot of users are going to that page, right? And a lot of users are also going to this one, Men's Unisex Merchandise Store. Maybe that's the one we had opened, right? Apparel. This one is apparel. Yeah, this is the page actually. So a lot of users are going to over here. They're engaged on this page, but where are they not engaged? You see, there are so many with such few impressions. For example, this one, toddler kids apparel. Not many people are going over there, right? So users are not engaged in this page. Okay. That's the benefit of having all those events and parameters and the data. You can instantly get an idea of what is working and what is not. Let's go to another event and check this out. I remember one good option, view search results. So what are users searching on the website, right? Let's click on that. All right. And if you are scrolling down over here now, you can see there is something called a search term. Search term is showing up what users are searching on the website. Okay. Which means that generally, if you are using some of these terms to show them the products that they are looking for over here, I'm not sure what YouTube is all about, maybe backpack. Okay. A lot of users are looking for backpacks. And if you're able to provide them these kind of products, they will be more engaged. Remember the goal of this section, we have to understand what is engagement, how we can figure out whether users are engaged or not. So if you have got a lot of backpacks, okay, then you can be rest assured that you will see an increase in engagement, right? And a very few users are looking for, let's say, something like a campus or maybe water bottles, right? So no point stocking them, right? Maybe users do not search for it. We'll have to dig deep, but that's something that this event is getting us the data on. Okay. So that's one way to understand whether users are engaged on your website or not. Okay. Now, a specialized form of events is conversions. If you have some events that are more important than others, for example, some user creating a login on the website, or let's say some user doing a purchase on your website, right? Those are important events. They show how your website is collecting the final goal, the ultimate goal that you want to get from the website, right? And how your users are going through these goals. So you can convert some of these events into conversions. And if I go to conversions over here, you'll quickly see that, right? So there are 3 such events that this website has made as conversions. First visit and purchase are always considered as conversions there by default, but they have also marked begin checkout as a conversion. So if somebody is doing a checkout, that's a big success for the website. That's what they are treating it as. Okay. You may have a different idea. For example, as I said, if somebody creates a user login on the website, that itself is a big event because you have acquired a user. So even that could be a conversion. So they are nothing but events that have been converted to conversions. How do you convert them? You go to configure, you go to conversions, and you see a list over here. You can go to events back and you can mark one of these as conversions. For example, I can actually switch this on and make add payment info as conversion. Okay. Because I'm not an admin to this website, to this account, I'm not able to do that. But if you are an admin in account, you'll have access to mark this on. And as soon as you mark this on, you'll start seeing that being accounted inside conversion. Okay. And you will see that they have also got this registration complete as one of the conversion. Maybe this is the one that I was talking about, the sign up, right? So that's how we work with conversion. Let's go back to our reports section. Okay. You go to engagement again and you have got conversions over here. And the conversion reports look exactly like the events reports, you can still go inside this begin checkout and check the conversions. Now, conversions are also good indicator of engagement, because you will know that whether users are actually engaged on your website to do some action or not, okay, the actions that you are interested in. But the bigger use of conversions comes inside our final step, that is meaningfulness. Every conversion indicates whether your users are doing what you are wanting them to do. Okay, so we'll talk more about this in the meaningfulness section, but it is so closely related to events that I wanted to talk about it over here. So with that, I'll close this chapter, and in the next chapter, we'll see some more ways to find out whether users are engaged on your website or not. So I'll see you there. Thank you.